When Erik Weir pitched his idea to franchise exclusively all the top golf locations worldwide, the owners laughed at him. But he did not take no for an answer, and that same tenacity has turned Erik into a phenomenal success.
Erik Weir is the head of WCM Global Wealth, a financial advisory firm serving clients at the top of entertainment, sports, and wealth circles. He starts with this conviction.
When you chase success for success's sake, wealth for wealth's sake, everything else in your life comes unhinged.
In his debut book, Who's Eating Your Pie?, Erik shares how to overcome obstacles and find true success by keeping the right priorities.
Please welcome to the 700 Club, Erik Weir. Erik, it's wonderful to have you with us today.
Well, thanks for having me on today.
You experienced trauma at the age of 5. Tell us a little bit about what happened and how it affected you.
So my mom and my brother and I were in an automobile, and we're going through the intersection, and we're T-boned at a really high rate of speed, and we spun around, and I was terrified. I was afraid the car would catch on fire. And both the police who arrived at the scene shortly after and my mother said to stay in the car. And respecting authority and being 5 years old and not wanting to be run over by a car, I stayed in. But in that, I was just terrified. And my parents didn't notice until I was home later that evening. And my speaking patterns had changed. And they found out when I said, please pass the potatoes. So it changed my life. And that became a point in life where I had a massive stutter to deal with from that point forward.
You share in the book so honestly how that stuttering impacted your life for decades, really. And yet you didn't let it hold you back from becoming successful. Eventually it dissipated. What happened?
Around age 38, I became grateful, and I would put myself in situations in business or sales or at church and greeting people, and it began to make people uncomfortable. They shake your hand, and you're like, "Hi, my name's Weir," and for some reason, E's and W's are hard to say when you stutter, and that's Erik Weir. And one day, I just said, God, thank you for making me who I am and giving me the skills and limitations and things that I have. Please let me learn from them and grow and represent you well. And over the next 2 or 3 years, it wasn't like the next day, but over the next 2 or 3 years, the stutter just went away.
Wow. Yeah, a lot. As I read your book, I was just thinking how a lot of people would have gotten stuck with the challenge that presented to you. Will you share with us how people sometimes sabotage their own success, and then what you suggest they can do to stop that?
Yeah. So the biggest thing to think about is people. The book is called Who's Eating Your Pie, and the premise is there are things that hold us back, there are things that tax us, there are things that hurt us, and oftentimes the things that hold us back the most are our own limiting thoughts. And what I try to encourage people to do is give yourself permission to dream, give yourself permission to imagine a different outcome, and then in the book we talk about how to take steps to attain that, to plan, to start with very small incremental change, because we usually wildly overestimate what we can accomplish in a short period of time, and equally underestimate what we can accomplish with just small change over a longer period of time.
You in the book share a story of going to the top golf executives and wanting to put in a bid to develop top golf locations, and they laughed you right out of there. They said absolutely not. Some people would have said, okay, that's a definitive no. I'm going to move on to the next opportunity I might have. You did not. You turned that no into a yes. Talk about how you did that.
Yeah, so I went there. They're very smart and just brilliant people. And I asked them for worldwide exclusive financing rights, and they literally laughed at me. And it was kind of funny. And then they asked me, well, how much money do you have available right now to develop? And I said, now? None. Then they laughed again. And one guy goes, I like that guy. And then I said, well, it's really better for you. You've heard of diamonds and rubies, and diamonds are more plentiful than rubies. But rubies are more valuable because of the De Beers family, who for years has had a limited release. And it's the same thing. So what I was saying is, if you had a point to go to worldwide, then I would be able to negotiate very good deals for you. And ended up not getting the world. I got some locations in the U.S. and we're doing some in Europe, but it ended up being a big win from where we started from, with zero to quite a few.
You divide what you call the pie of life into 5 slices. What are they?
It's faith, family, fitness, finances, and friends. And really, God is the center of the spoke. And what I tell people is to look at it. You have to have balance. And it's so hard to get balance in life, and we're never, ever perfectly in balance. But in the book, I teach you how to create wealth, but I also talk about evaluating, because if you create wealth and spend your energy there, typically what you ignore in life are due to focusing on one thing too much, it consumes you later in life. So if I spend all my time getting wealth, later in life, I'll attempt to use my wealth to restore my health or to hopefully restore my family. So be focused on all things: faith, your family, your fitness, your finances, and your friends. And imagine a wagon wheel, and God's the center, and you have spokes of varying length. So if you're a 5 for faith and a 2 for family and a 3 for fitness, you go all the way around. It's kind of a lumpy wheel. So I try to draw a wheel and to say, where am I at that time? And there are going to be times of imbalance, times we start a business, times we have a baby, times we just have change. So it's never going to be perfect, but have a way to evaluate periodically how you're doing, so you're not surprised in the end.
Yeah. So many people currently are struggling financially, rising food and gas prices. What's your best nugget of advice for them?
It's this too shall pass. So it's an inflationary time. It's a time that's brought on by monetary policy and money in the financial system. Be smart, be prudent. I believe it will pass, but just seek as best you can to make the decisions that are prudent today, and also have an eye for the future. And if you can, still try to save a little bit on a periodic basis for your future.
I think everybody thinks, if I just had this much money, I could solve these problems and life would be great and I would be happy. What are the biggest misconceptions that people have about building wealth?
Most people desire wealth because they think it'll make them happy. And they want to be rich because they want to make them happy. And happiness and wealth are not really related. So wealth is a wonderful tool. It's a very poor master. We've all heard that said before. But really what I try to point out is the 5 F's: faith, family, fitness, finance, friends. There's never been anyone on their deathbed that says, shower me with $100 bills. They're like, where's my family? Where are my friends? I want people with me now. And that's really it. So it's a direction and focusing life with balance and thoughtfulness, and not just a mindless pursuit of wealth or material possessions.
Would you say that's the biggest mistake that people make? Wrong focus?
100%. As I tell my children when we're growing up, if you climb a ladder very, very quickly and you make great progress, but that ladder's on the wrong wall, have you really made progress? So the most important thing is to take time, even daily, and plan and evaluate and see how you're doing over the grand scheme of what you hope to accomplish in life.
Well, the book is fascinating. I want to mention to our viewers, it's called Who's Eating Your Pie? It's available anywhere books are sold, and it's filled with wisdom and sound advice. Thanks for being with us, Erik. Nice to visit with you.
It's my pleasure, and thank you very much.